work a fight in the corner, commentate a fight, and fight myself. Now we doing something. See, now we got something for TV.
Roy Jones Jr. changed boxing forever with his supernatural athleticism and unorthodox style. But the former pound-for-pound king built his greatness by studying legends who came before him. Sources close to RJJ reveal he spent countless hours breaking down classic fights in his Pensacola training facility. His list of favorite boxers surprises fans because it contradicts his own flashy approach to the sweet science. Industry insiders claim Roy's choices expose the technical foundation beneath his spectacular highlight reels. The four-division champion reportedly respects pure boxers more than aggressive brawlers, despite his own seek-and-destroy mentality. Trainers who worked with Roy confirm he watched old-school masters to understand ring intelligence and timing. His favorite fighters span multiple eras and weight classes with one common thread. These 10 legends earned Roy's respect through skill, heart, and innovation. Let's count down who influenced the most gifted athlete boxing ever witnessed, and why each name matters. 10. Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker starts Roy's list as a defensive genius who dominated their era together. Sweet Pea's shoulder roll and footwork fascinated Roy during the 1990s, when both fighters ruled different weight classes. Sources say Roy studied Whitaker's ability to make elite opponents look ordinary through pure boxing skill. The Norfolk native proved that defense wins championships without needing devastating knockout power. Their training camp encounters in Virginia created mutual respect between two all-time greats. Boxing insiders claim Roy borrowed certain defensive angles from Whitaker's playbook when facing bigger opponents later in his career. The slick southpaw's performance against Chavez became required viewing in Roy's gym. Whitaker showed that technical mastery beats size and strength when executed perfectly. Roy mentioned Whitaker represented pure artistry in an era becoming dominated by power punchers. Sweet Pea's legacy taught Roy that making guys miss matters more than landing bombs. 9. Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler earned Roy's admiration for his complete fighting package and warrior mentality. The Marvelous One's southpaw dominance gave Roy the blueprint for handling left-handed opponents throughout his career. Sources claim Roy watched the Hagler-Hearns war repeatedly to understand controlled aggression at the highest level. The Bald Destroyer's ability to switch between boxer and puncher influenced Roy's own versatile approach. Roy met Hagler several times in Las Vegas during the late 1990s. Industry veterans say those conversations shaped Roy's understanding of longevity and maintaining excellence across multiple weight divisions. Hagler's dedication to the craft without chasing money fights resonated with Roy's own competitive fire. The middleweight king's performance against Roberto Duran showcased the ring intelligence Roy valued above raw athleticism. Roy stated Hagler proved that discipline and preparation beat natural talent every time. The complete fighter showed Roy what championship mentality looks like over a full career. 8. Thomas Hearns. Thomas Hearns represents the knockout artist who combined power with boxing skills on Roy's list. The hitman's devastating right hand and ridiculous reach created problems for everyone in his era. Sources say Roy studied Hearns to understand how tall fighters maximize their physical advantages through proper technique. The Detroit legend's ability to end fights with one punch fascinated Roy throughout his own punching power development. Their relationship grew through Detroit boxing connections and training camp visits. Boxing analysts claim Roy borrowed Hearns' jab technique when he moved up to light heavyweight and heavyweight divisions. The multiple division champions' victories over Duran and Leonard showed Roy that size matters when skill levels are equal. Hearns' tragic knockout losses taught Roy valuable lessons about defensive responsibility, despite offensive gifts. Roy mentioned Hearns had the most dangerous single punch he ever witnessed on film. The Motor City Cobra proved that reach and timing create knockout power. 7. Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard sits at number 7 as the complete entertainer who revolutionized boxing promotion. The Olympic hero's transition to professional superstardom gave Roy a blueprint for building his own brand. Sources claim Roy studied Leonard's psychological warfare and trash talk techniques before big fights throughout the 1990s. The Pretty Boy Destroyer showed that charisma sells pay-per-views as much as knockout highlights. Roy witnessed Leonard's comeback victories firsthand during his own rise through the rankings. Industry insiders say Leonard's performance against Hagler taught Roy when to box and when to brawl against dangerous opponents. The business-savvy Leonard displayed in contract negotiations influenced Roy's later promotional decisions. Leonard's ability to pick strategic opponents while maintaining credibility became a controversial template Roy followed. Roy stated Leonard created the modern boxing superstar before anyone understood sports marketing. Sugar Ray proved that personality and skill together build legendary careers and generational wealth. 6. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali earned the 6th spot for transcending boxing and becoming a global icon. The greatest's impact on sports and culture influenced every fighter who came after him, including Roy. Sources say Roy studied Ali's fights to understand speed, movement, and ring generalship at heavyweight. The Louisville legend's ability to make boxing appointments on television showed Roy the power of self-promotion and media manipulation. Roy met Ali multiple times during the 1990s at various boxing events. Boxing historians claim those encounters inspired Roy's own larger-than-life personality and willingness to speak boldly. Ali's rope-a-dope strategy against Foreman taught Roy that intelligence beats power when pressure gets overwhelming. The Cultural Revolution. Ali started opened doors for athletes like Roy to express themselves freely. Roy mentioned Ali proved that boxers could be more than fighters and become movement leaders. The crossover appeal showed Roy that boxing success creates platforms for bigger impact. 5. Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran cracks the top 5 as the most complete fighter Roy ever analyzed on tape. Hands of Stone's ability to dominate as a lightweight, then win titles at middleweight, amazed Roy throughout his career. Sources claim Roy watched Duran's performances against Leonard and Hagler to understand weight class adjustments and fighting bigger men. The Panamanian legend's versatility between brawling and boxing gave Roy his own multi-dimensional approach. Roy trained alongside Duran in Florida during the early 2000s. Industry veterans say those sparring sessions taught Roy about ring psychology and breaking opponents mentally before physically. Duran's legendary hand speed at 135 pounds influenced how Roy developed his own combination punching. The street fighter mentality Duran brought from Panama resonated with Roy's own Pensacola toughness. Roy stated Duran showed him that heart and skill together create unstoppable combinations. The 4-decade career proved that true greatness adapts and evolves across generations. 4. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. represents the pressure fighter who broke opponents through relentless body attacks and mental warfare. The Mexican legend's 87-fight unbeaten streak fascinated Roy during his own pursuit of perfection. Sources say Roy studied Chavez to understand what he needed to avoid against come-forward fighters throughout his career. The body-punching specialist's ability to drain opponents' energy became required viewing in Roy's training camps. Roy attended several Chavez fights in Las Vegas during the 1990s. Boxing insiders claim Roy respected Chavez's ability to perform under massive pressure from 100,000 Mexican fans. The ring generalship Chavez displayed against Meldrick Taylor taught Roy about surviving adversity when losing on scorecards. Chavez's devastating losses later in his career showed Roy when to walk away from the sport. Roy mentioned Chavez represented everything a pressure fighter should be, technically and mentally. The Mexican warrior proved that conditioning will break down pure boxers eventually. 3. Willie Pep. Willie Pep takes the 3rd spot as the original defensive wizard who rewrote boxing's rulebook. The will-o'-the-wisp's ability to win rounds without landing punches blew Roy's mind during film study sessions. Sources claim Roy watched grainy Pep footage to understand feints, angles, and making opponents miss by fractions of inches. The featherweight master's performance across 241 fights showed Roy what longevity through defense looks like. Roy studied Pep's footwork patterns religiously when developing his own movement system. Industry analysts say Pep's influence appears in Roy's ability to fight moving backwards without losing offensive opportunities. The Connecticut legend's famous round where he won without throwing a punch became Roy's favorite boxing story. Pep's technical brilliance proved that pure skill beats size and power consistently. Roy stated Pep was doing matrix moves before Hollywood invented special effects. The defensive master showed that making opponents look foolish is boxing's highest art form. 2. Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson sits at number 2 as the pound-for-pound standard every fighter gets measured against. The original Sugar's dominance across welterweight and middleweight divisions created the template Roy followed for his own multi-weight success. Sources say Roy called Robinson the most complete fighter in boxing history multiple times publicly. The Harlem Legend's combination of speed, power, defense, and ring intelligence had no weaknesses. Roy studied Robinson's footwork and counterpunching extensively throughout his amateur and professional careers. Boxing historians claim Robinson's ability to adjust mid-fight influenced Roy's own tactical brilliance against different styles. The 173 wins over a 25-year career showed Roy what sustained excellence requires mentally and physically. Robinson's performances in the 1940s and 50s remain timeless despite evolving boxing techniques. Roy mentioned Robinson would dominate any era because fundamental skills never become outdated. The pound-for-pound king proved that complete mastery of basics creates legendary status across generations. 1. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali takes the top position as Roy's ultimate boxing inspiration and cultural hero. The greatest supernatural speed at heavyweight amazed Roy more than any fighter at any weight class. Sources claim Roy modeled his entire athletic approach after Ali's emphasis on speed, reflexes, and making opponents miss. The Louisville legend's ability to dance around bigger punchers for 15 rounds gave Roy confidence to move up weight classes. Roy met Ali numerous times and called him the single biggest influence on his career philosophy. Industry insiders say Ali's famous quote about floating like a butterfly became Roy's fighting mantra. The psychological warfare Ali perfected against Liston and Foreman taught Roy how to beat opponents before entering the ring. Ali's willingness to take risks and fight anyone, anywhere inspired Roy's own fearless approach. Roy stated Ali proved that speed and intelligence beat size and power every single time. The heavyweight legend remains boxing's greatest athlete and Roy's forever number 1. Roy's list mixes defensive wizards with knockout artists and cultural icons. Who would make your personal top 10 greatest boxers? Share your rankings in the comments and hit that subscribe button for more exclusive boxing content and legendary fighter breakdowns.